What if prehistoric women helped shape modern human anatomy? Early humans deliberately burned entire forests to survive, and one of the most famous fossils in history died in a tragic, violent accident. These aren't wild theories or myths, they're real scientific discoveries. And together, they reveal a version of prehistoric humans that is far more complex, intelligent, and surprising than we ever imagined. When most people think of prehistoric humans, they picture something simple: small groups of hunter-gatherers struggling to survive, reacting to the world around them. But modern science is painting a very different picture. Through genetics, archaeology, and cutting-edge imaging technology, researchers are uncovering details that completely reshape our understanding of human evolution. We're talking about behavior, intelligence, biology, even culture. So today, we're diving into 10 recent discoveries about prehistoric man. And by the end of this video, you might start to see our ancient ancestors in a completely new light. Ten. Prehistoric women influenced male anatomy. Let's start with something unexpected and a little controversial. A study by evolutionary biologists suggests that prehistoric women may have played a direct role in shaping male anatomy over thousands of years. The research found that attraction wasn't based on just one trait, but a combination of factors like height, body proportions, and reproductive features. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Unlike most animals, early humans walked upright. This meant that certain physical traits were much more visible, especially compared to other species. Because of this visibility, scientists believe that sexual selection may have played a major role in human evolution. In simple terms, if certain traits were consistently preferred by females, those traits became more common over generations. So rather than being random, some aspects of human biology may actually be the result of long-term preference and selection. 9. Ice Age humans changed entire landscapes. Next, we often think of early humans as being at the mercy of nature, but evidence suggests they were actively reshaping it. During the last Ice Age, over 20,000 years ago, large parts of Europe experienced massive deforestation. At first, scientists thought this was purely due to climate, but new research points to something else: human activity. Groups of prehistoric humans may have intentionally set fires to clear forests. Why would they do this? Because open land made survival easier. It improved visibility for hunting, made movement simpler, and created more manageable living spaces. The result? Around 30% of Europe's forests were permanently lost. This discovery changes how we see early humans, not just as survivors, but as early environmental engineers. 8. Stone Age artists were surprisingly advanced. Now let's talk about creativity. For a long time, we believed Stone Age art was mostly limited to animals and simple symbols. But a discovery near Barcelona challenges that idea completely. Researchers uncovered a 14,000-year-old carving that may depict something extraordinary: a human settlement. If this interpretation is correct, it would be the earliest known image of organized human living. Even more fascinating, the style is completely different from typical art of the time. Instead of following the usual patterns, this artist did something new, something experimental. Some experts even compare this unknown individual to modern artists like Picasso because they broke the rules of their time. It's a reminder that even thousands of years ago, humans weren't just surviving, they were thinking creatively and expressing ideas. 7. Our ancestors handled smoke better than us. Fire was one of the most important tools ever discovered by humans. It provided warmth, protection, and a way to cook food. But it also created a dangerous problem: smoke. Today, smoke inhalation is harmful and can cause serious health issues. But surprisingly, our ancient ancestors may have been better equipped to handle it. Scientists studying ancient DNA found that Neanderthals, and even earlier human relatives, had genetic traits that helped them tolerate toxic compounds found in smoke. Even more surprising, these same traits are found in chimpanzees and gorillas, which suggests that modern humans may have actually lost some of this resistance over time. So, in a strange twist, our ancestors might have been better suited for one of humanity's most important discoveries than we are today. 6. Blood flow made us smarter. Human intelligence is one of our defining traits. But what actually made us smarter? For years, the answer seemed obvious: bigger brains. But new research suggests the real key wasn't size, it was blood flow. Scientists discovered that while the human brain increased in size by about 350% during evolution, blood flow increased by nearly 600%. Why does that matter? Because the brain requires massive amounts of energy to function. More blood means more oxygen and nutrients, allowing the brain to work harder and more efficiently. By studying fossil skulls, researchers even found physical evidence showing that arteries supplying the brain became larger over time. So intelligence didn't just evolve because our brains grew, it evolved because we found a way to power them more effectively. 5. The world's first farmers. One of the biggest turning points in human history was the shift from hunting and gathering to farming. But where did it begin? A major genetic study identified 3 early farming populations in the Near East, dating back between 8,000 and 12,000 years. These groups lived in regions that are now part of Turkey, Iran, and the Levant. Using advanced DNA extraction techniques, scientists were able to study ancient remains despite harsh environmental conditions. And they uncovered something even more intriguing: evidence of a mysterious ancestral group known as basal Eurasians. These people may have been among the first humans to leave Africa and settle elsewhere. The discovery helps explain how agriculture spread and how early human populations were connected. 4. Neanderthal DNA affects us today. When modern humans left Africa, they didn't travel alone. They encountered and interbred with Neanderthals. At one point, humans carried up to 10% Neanderthal DNA. Today, that number has dropped to around 2% in non-African populations. Why the decrease? Because many of those inherited genes were actually harmful. Some were linked to reduced fertility, meaning individuals carrying them were less likely to pass them on. Over time, natural selection removed most of these genes, but not all of them. Even today, traces of Neanderthal DNA still exist within us, quiet reminders of ancient encounters tens of thousands of years ago. 3. Tiny face mites have been with us forever. Here's something a little unsettling. Every human alive has microscopic mites living on their face, and they've been with us for a very, very long time. Scientists studying these mites discovered that their evolution closely mirrors human evolution. Different populations around the world carry slightly different versions of these mites, matching ancient human migration patterns. Even more interesting, these mites are usually passed down over generations rather than picked up randomly. So, in a way, they've been traveling with us for thousands of years across continents. It's a strange but fascinating reminder that we're never truly alone. 2. All non-Africans share one migration. One of the biggest questions in human history is how we spread across the world. A large genetic study analyzed hundreds of genomes from populations worldwide, and the conclusion was surprisingly simple. All non-African humans today likely descend from a single migration out of Africa that occurred between 50,000 and 100,000 years ago. This challenges older theories that suggested multiple separate migrations. It also means that most of humanity shares a relatively recent common origin. Despite our differences. We're all connected by the same journey. 1. The mystery of Lucy's death solved. Finally, we come to one of the most famous fossils ever discovered, Lucy. For decades, scientists have studied her remains to understand how early humans lived. But one question remained unanswered. How did she die? Using high-resolution imaging technology, researchers examined her bones in incredible detail. What they found was shocking. Lucy's injuries were consistent with a fall from a significant height. Her arm showed fractures similar to someone trying to break a fall, just like injuries seen in modern accidents. Other bones showed similar trauma patterns. This suggests that Lucy may have died after falling from a tree. If true, it also supports the idea that her species still spent time climbing. It's a powerful and almost haunting reminder that even our earliest ancestors faced sudden, tragic ends. From shaping entire ecosystems, to influencing our DNA, to leaving behind mysteries we're only just beginning to solve. Prehistoric humans were far more intelligent, adaptable, and complex than we once believed. And the truth is, every new discovery raises even more questions, which means the story of human evolution is far from finished. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives into history and science. And let me know in the comments which discovery surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.